Hello team, welcome back. Welcome to Google Cloud Training, and let's see how we can use the deployment manager to create the multiple resources in the Google Cloud or to deploy the deployment in the Google Cloud. And we have already discussed that what is deployment. Deployment is a single unit of multiple resources which will work as a whole. So we will open the browser in incognito mode and log in our Google Cloud Console account. And to work with the deployment manager, first we need to enable the APIs of the deployment manager in our project. So we are using my first project. Over here, we will go to the APIs, go to the dashboard, and we will search for the deployment manager v2 API. And inside the APIs, we will click on enable API and services. And over here, I will search for the deployment manager API. So we are getting an API, Cloud Deployment Manager v2 API. We will open this API. And if the API is already enabled, in my case it is enabled, maybe I have used it, right? Then we will leave it as it is, otherwise we will enable this particular API. Now let's go to the deployment manager. So we will search for the deployment manager, and here we are getting the deployment manager. We will open it, and right now you can see we don't have any deployment. If you want to create the deployment with the help of the UI, you need to go to the deployment marketplace solution, right? And over here you are getting the handy solution of each kind of deployment, and we are getting the handy solution for the WordPress with Nginx SSL certificate, MongoDB, Atlas, Global Health, again the WordPress, NVIDIA. We are getting the compute engine, app engine, Kubernetes engine, cloud storage. So if you want to go with some ready-made solution, you can go to the deployment manager marketplace, but we are not going with any ready-made solution. We will create the deployment by on and use it. And for that we need to go to the Google Cloud Shell. So we'll activate the Cloud Shell and go to the and open the Cloud Shell in a new tab. And in the Cloud Shell you need to make sure that your project is already selected, right? Otherwise you need to configure your project by this particular command. Here let's create a directory. So I will create a directory mkdir, and I will call it deployment manager. Put ls. My directory is being created. I will open the code editor over here, and you can see here I have my directory. Inside this directory I will create a new file. So I will create a new file, and I will call it sampleconfig.yml, right? This will be my configuration file, and in this configuration file I will define all of my configuration, that which resource I want to create with the help of this particular configuration file. So I have created a sample for you. This sample is present inside the folder Google Cloud Monitoring and Logging. Inside this folder we have the deployment manager folder, and here we have the sample config file, right? I will commit out this particular file. Also I will attach this file in this particular lecture, so you can get it from the code repository which we have shared in this particular course, or you can get it from the resource section as well. Let's see what we are defining over here. So over here first we are defining the resources as per the convention, and I'm defining only one resource. The resource name is my first deployment VM. The type is compute v1 instance. It means it is a Google Cloud Compute instance. Then I'm defining the properties. In the properties first I'm defining the zone. So I want to deploy this particular deployment in US Central 1-A. Then I'm defining the machine type. Over here you can define any machine type. I am taking N1 standard 1. And see, you need to be careful about the syntax. The zones US Central 1A, then machine type, then N1 standard 1. Then we will attach some disks inside the disk. So I have defined the another property disk, and inside the disk I am defining the sub property like the device name boot. So I want a boot type of disk. The type will be persistent, boot will be true, auto delete will be true. Then we are defining the initialize parameter. Inside the initialize parameter I am defining the image. So this disk will consume this image. What is the image? Image is Debian 10 base. So I'm defining projects Debian Cloud Global Image Family Debian 10. Then we are defining some network interface, that which network this particular compute engine will use. So this will use the default network. If you have some another network, you can update that network. If you want to use some another image, you can update that image. If you want to define the size, so you can define the size over here. If you want to use some another machine, you can define the machine over here. If you want to choose some another zone, you can choose the zone over here. So let's copy this. Next, I will go to the Cloud Shell and I will paste it here. Simple. Now I will save this. I will keep it up. Now I will close this. Over here, I will go to the deployment manager folder where we have created the file, put ls, and see we have the sample config YAML file over here. Here we will execute a command to create the deployment. And what is the command? Command is gcloud deployment manager create, define your deployment name, hyphen config, define your file name. So suppose I'm defining my deployment name is my first deployment, hyphen config, then the YAML file name. YAML is, and my YAML file name is this. Hit enter button. Just wait. And you can see we are getting a message waiting for create this particular entity. Here it is defining the fingerprint of the deployment as well. Now we have to wait until this process will be complete. So you can see my deployment is being created and we are getting a message over here that this particular operation is completed. The name of my compute engine is my first deployment VM, which we have defined. This is the type and this is the status. If we will go to the cloud console and we will open the compute engine VM instances, we will see we are getting the instance over here. And this instance is deployed in US Central 1. And if we will check the machine type is N1 standard 1. So this instance is being deployed from my deployment manager. You can see the name is same which I have chosen inside my file. See, my first deployment VM. Now let's go back to the console again and go to the deployment manager. Inside the deployment manager, we are getting the deployment we just created. We have created the deployment my first deployment. See, we have defined this particular name over here. Let's open this. Here we are getting the configuration, layout, expand configuration. If you want to click these links, you can click it. And inside this particular deployment, we have a single resource, and these are the property of the deployment. If you will go to the config, we'll get the configuration. This is the same file which you have executed. Now let's go back, go to the Cloud Shell again, and let's try to create the same deployment again with the same configuration file. Hit enter and see, we are getting the error 409. It means resource already exists. And the complete error we are getting is this particular deployment is already exist and cannot be created. What if I will rename my deployment but keep the same configuration file? So let's choose it like -1 and hit enter. And we are getting message that it's ready to deploy the deployment. Let's wait until the deployment will be done. And in the deployment manager, we are getting both of my deployments. If we will go to the compute engine, then in the compute engine, you can see a new resource is not deployed. No new compute engine is deployed. It means both of my deployments are using the same compute engine. And that is because I have not updated the resource name inside my YAML file. So what if you will execute the same scenario in your development where two developers are trying to create their own deployments but their config file is not parameterized? In that case, although they will get the deployment successful, but at the back end they are using the same resource. So that is the another drawback of the static file. If you want to describe your deployment, you need to simply execute a command gcloud deployment manager deployments describe and define your deployment name. So first let's describe this deployment and see you are getting the description of the deployment that this is the fingerprint, this is the ID, the insert time, manifest, the name of the deployment, operation which is being created, operation type, and user who created this particular deployment and start time. And this is the state of the deployment. Now let's clear out the console and execute the delete operation. And I'm deleting my duplicate deployment which I just created -1. Hit enter. It is asking for the confirmation. I will provide the confirmation and hit enter button. We have to wait until the deployment will be delete. And now if we will go to the cloud console and we will go to the compute engine, you can see my instance is being deleted. Although that instance is also the part of the another deployment which I just created first before this duplicate deployment. But whenever I am deleting the duplicate deployment, it is basically deleting my instance as well. So by this particular way, we can understand if we have the common resources in multiple deployments, and whenever we will delete any of the deployment, that all the common resources between these deployments will be deleted from the Google Cloud. So we need to make sure that we are not going to create the common resources in the deployments. Otherwise, whenever we will delete a single deployment, all the common resources of these deployments will be automatically deleted. So we have to wait until this process will complete, and we are getting a message that operation is successful. If we will go to the compute engine, refresh this page, see my instance are gone. Now let's execute one more delete operation on my earlier deployment, and we will create it again because my instance are being removed. So we will create the deployment again once this particular deployment template will be removed. And this deployment is also being deleted. If we will go to the deployments, let me open this in a new tab and open the deployment manager. See, we don't have any deployment. Now let's see how we can parameterize the deployment. So for this, as I told you, we have two options. Either we can use the Jinja or we can use the Python. What I prefer personally, Jinja is quite simple as compared to the Python when we are going to work with the deployment manager, because Jinja have the same configuration as you are defining in the YAML format. But for the Python, the configuration option will be changed. So let's go to the code file, and over here you can see we are using this particular file. So what I will do, I will simply copy this particular resource and put it in a template, in a Jinja template instead of the Python template. So I will open the code editor. I will create a new file over here and I will call it vm template dot jinja. Hit enter, and this file is being created. Over here I will paste this particular code, and I'm defining the code like I'm directly putting the resource template. This will be the name of my VM instance, VM custom template. The type, I'm creating the compute engine, the zone, then the image type, and the same thing like the source image and the network. Now the question is how we can use this particular template. So to use this particular template, we need to import this template in the configuration file. So I will create one more file in which I will save the configuration. So this time I will call it dynamic config.yaml. And inside the dynamic config.yaml, I will define the import statement like this. And we need to define the path of my template. So in my case, we need to define the complete path of my template. And which is my template? My template is vm template hyphen jinja. So over here you can define the path like slash deployment manager, then your template name. But my configuration file you can see and my template file at the same location, so I can directly define it like this. I will simply copy this name and paste it here. So by this particular way we are importing the template. If you have more than one template, you need to define more than one path over here. Again the path and the second template name. So by this particular thing we have seen that we can define the template, and this template, the Jinja template, is similar to the YAML file configuration. And to define the configuration file which have the template included, we need to import the template first. After this, once you have imported the template, you need to define the resources like this. So I will copy the resources, go to the dynamic configuration, put it here. Now if you want, you can define the name or you can directly define the type. And inside the type, you again need to define your template name which you just imported. So the resource, then I'm defining the resource type, and in my resource type I have this particular template. If you want to define the name, you can define the name as well. So I can simply define the name like this, hyphen name, and name of my VM instance, like my VM or my custom VM, right? And you need to make sure that we are formatting this particular thing. Now we have seen that how we can define the template, how we can import the template, how we can define the resources, and inside the resources how we can use the template. But if we want to make the template name dynamic, if we want to make some properties in this particular template dynamic, suppose I want to make this name dynamic or this image dynamic or this machine type dynamic, then how we can do that? So let's see how we can make the things dynamic. So for this, let's create a text file. I will create a new text file and I will call it resource name.txt, right? And over here I will define my resource name, and here I'm defining my resource name like Anshul machine hyphen 1. Now inside your template, here you are defining your resource. So now inside my template, I need to replace this particular name with the name which I just defined in the text file. So for this, first we need to import the file. So I will mention import, then define the path, and in the path you need to define the file name. In my case, this is my file name, so I will define it over here. As I have the file in the same location, so I just need to define the file name. And over here, instead of the hard coded name, we need to take the name from this particular file. So we will choose it like double colon imports, then you need to define the square bracket, double quotes, and close the double colon, and over here you need to define your file name. So we are parameterizing the name inside my template. So over here we have completed few things. We have created the new template. We have defined the parameterization of a single parameter. If you want to define the parameterization of this parameter, you can define that particular thing as well. We have defined the separate dynamic file. So we have defined all the configuration. Now let's open the Cloud Shell, and I will close the terminal. Now inside the Cloud Shell, let's execute a ls command and see we have all the files. Now we have two options. Either we can directly execute this dynamic config YAML, or if we want to create the instance or create a single resource with the help of the template, we can create the single resource as well. So let's create the single resource first. For this, I will execute a command gcloud deployment manager, create, define the deployment name hyphen hyphen template, and define your template name. So we are executing gcloud deployment manager deployments, create, defining the deployment name hyphen hyphen config. Then I need to define my configuration file name. Hit enter. And as soon as we will execute the command, we will get the progress. So first it will print out the fingerprint. Then we are getting a message. Now you can see my operation is being performed. We have to wait until the operation will be completed. And you can see the operation is completed. And we are getting an option like Anshul machine 1 is created. If we will go to the compute engines, we will refresh it. Okay, we are not reloading and we are just refreshing this. See, Anshul machine 1 is created. Over here, if you will see, the deployment is also created. Now let's do one thing. The second developer will come and he will update this particular text file, and he will mention, and instead of the Anshul name, he will mention his own name. He will mention the Michael machine. Save this machine. Now he will go to the Cloud Console and he will create his own deployment, and over here he will mention his deployment name like my first deployment or Michael first deployment. Hit enter. You can see the deployment is in progress. We have to wait until the deployment will be created, and we are getting some error. Let's execute the deployment again. I don't think that error is related to the name. We can't define the name in the capital letters. Over here you can see I've defined the name in the capital letter. Let me open the Cloud Shell. We can't define in the capital letter. Let's define in. Now we will close this, and over here we will execute the same command again, and we will create the deployment again, And instead of the my deployment, Michael is going to rename the deployment with a new name, and he will call it like Michael. Hit enter. You can see the deployment creation is in progress. We have to wait until the deployment will be created. And see, the deployment operation is done. If we will go to the compute engine, I will refresh my UIC. Michael machine 1, Anshul machine 1. If we will go to the deployment, we are getting the two deployment. So by this way, we can parameterize the deployment. So team, I will do one thing. All the code which I have defined over here, that is the text file, or that is the dynamic config file, or that is the VM template file, I will attach all that code within the same lecture in this lab. Also, I will mention all that code over here, right? The file name will be same as I have chosen over here, and I will commit this code so that you guys can get the particular code whenever you will clone the repository, because this repository have all the codes and I have already shared the repository URL in the starting of this course. So thank you team, thanks for your time. That's all about the deployment manager lab. If you have any doubt, any question, then please let me know. I will be happy to answer your questions.